I'm going to call the meeting to order at 7:30. Roll call, William Johnston. Here. Tom Graffinino.
Here.
Lynn Colligan.
Here.
Lisa Kreckler.
Here.
Phil DiOrio is here. And we have Tim Hill, the ZBA attorney, via Zoom. First order of business is to review and approve the August 27th, 2025 minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we have two applications to discuss on our work session agenda tonight. The first is for 80 North Ferry Road, Sylvester Manor. Christina, do we have some correspondence on that? Oh, sorry, Mr. Johnston is going to recuse himself.
Yes.
He's a nearby neighbor.
The correspondence in support of the application was received from Sarah Philbin and Paul Skinner. Also, correspondence in support of the application was received from Edward Schillenberg, and letter of opposition was received from Mike Gaynor.
Thank you, Christina. All right, so it's been a long road here, and I'm not sure how all of you feel. I would like, if possible, for us to take a quick run through that list and see if there are activities we all can agree, like, hey, this is something that fits in and we can draw some sort of a nexus to an educational institution. And then if there are things that are maybes or nos, we can talk about those as well. Does that seem like the good pathway for you all?
Yep.
All right, so Christina, is it possible that you can pull that up for us?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe we could just start at the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Archaeology workshops, I can see how that has some educational aspect to it, and there's certainly some archaeology that has been done at the manor.
Yeah, UMass Boston's there
Yeah.
for a long time.
All right. Black History Month, I mean, they have a history of African-American enslavement there. It's, I guess, something, community events at the farm. Christina, can you slide that over so we can see the frequency and the, is it possible to like make that all fit on the screen, or?
I can definitely make it small, but it would be harder for you to
All
understand.
right, I see. This is,
Tell me where you want to
go
go.
ahead, blow it up then a little bit, I'm sorry.
I can read it off of this tiny.
You're a little younger than I am.
Easter egg hunt and veggie derby, 2 or 3 times a year. Spring, summer, fall.
Are we?
I feel that it's in line, the
Okay.
veggie derby, especially with what they're doing there.
Okay. Creekside Concert?
It's in cooperation with Suffolk County Parks and Rec, 1 or 2 per
that's-
summer.
I have to say, I'm mixed emotions on this.
Okay.
The one that they spoke about last summer, they said that, whether it was, it just covered expenses. And the band, I think, was Los Hacheros. I don't know how that ties into the education. I'm not saying
I'll start a maybe column,
okay.
okay?
Are you going to be the note taker
Sure.
here for now? Awesome. The Fall Farm Festival, I think that's a.
Big roast and family fun at the
Yep,
farm, yep.
It's, directly associated with the farm.
Horticulture, garden preservation and rehabilitation,
Yeah,
guided tours, 8 to 12 per year. It was the 4th year in 2025. I think that's fine.
yeah,
Yep. Juneteenth at the Afro-Indigenous Burial Ground.
sure.
Porch talks. At the Manor House, 4 to 6 per summer, and 2025 was the second year. Those are related to topics at the farm.
Okay,
The sculpture at Sylvester Manor, outdoor sculpture garden. With kickoff artist reception in the old growth forest trail. About 100 people, it
all right,
says.
so I have a little bit of a harder time drawing the
Okay.
nexus on that one.
Okay.
I mean, that, I think that the historic, the gardens are an historic part and the old growth forest is a historic part of that.
So it's bringing people into that. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll put it still in the column, the maybe column.
Shakespeare.
Yep, Shakespeare at the Manor, once a year, 2 or 3 performances.
That's another one that, for me, it's a little,
Um,
and.
The time period is valid, that the Manor, well, it actually predates,
Yeah.
Shakespeare predates.
I mean, I
the
think if
Manor.
you're thinking of it as an educational institution, yeah, there, you're bringing that knowledge and history to the community. So it depends in what light you're thinking. If you're thinking of it in light of the mission of Sylvester Manor versus what they're asking for, which is an educational facility.
Maybe help me out here a bit.
Well, what's the mission that you referenced before of Sylvester Manor? Because you referenced like the farm.
Right?
So now we're talking about 2 different pieces of Sylvester Manor. There's the farm aspect, but now there's the educational.
Right, and so
piece.
for me, the educational thing, I think I'll say has 3 sides to it. The first is the farm, right? They have interns working there in the summer, and they have programs built around educating people concerning the farm.
Mhm.
The second is the African-American slave background there. That's another educational part. Another third part for me is the indigenous, the Native Americans. Those are sort of, I guess, the 3 pillars of the educational bit that I see happening there at Sylvester Manor.
Okay, why don't we keep going, and then we'll have that on the maybe list, Shakespeare? Unless
Sure.
you want to talk about that further right now. The Tea and Tree holiday celebration.
So I would say that there is some actual like history there. It's an old Alice Fisk tradition.
Yeah, and it does bring people into the historic house that is about to be rehabilitated, so.
Everybody good with that one? Lisa?
Again, because it's a windmill and it's farm, that's the only connection that I'm seeing. I'm just having a hard time following your
It's
logic
bringing you into
here.
the manor house.
But it's actually
though.
in the Manor House.
Yeah,
It's the,
Tea and Tree is in the manor house.
the, oh, right, that was the one that was suspended.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, got it.
yeah, the next,
Okay.
unless you want to talk about.
No, I was thinking about the windmill lighting, sorry.
Oh, windmill lighting, okay. The next is the wellness programs. This is like where they're bringing fitness people in.
Right.
I kind of don't see the connection there.
For me, this is, but it's hard for me to see the nexus there. Okay?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, okay. The windmill lighting, that is on the windmill farm. It's a new winter holiday event. It was in lieu of Tea and Tree.
I knew there was a connection.
There was. Yeah,
Everybody feeling like that's,
I don't want to be bah humbug, but if we're going to be consistent with our reasoning, that is a
Right.
maybe.
okay, maybe.
Unless, again, you do the reasoning that it is part of the farm, and this is where you can stretch just about anything
Right.
to be educational and to be, it's
Educational programming. Oh, okay, there's a whole bunch. There's the Farm Apprentice, the Farm Summer Farmers, the Forest Program, which Stephen said may not occur next
Okay,
year.
and one thing about the forest program, so right now they have that's a lease arrangement. or
Yeah, it
somebody-
is.
And so I'm not so much concerned about that because I think that that's there is an actual educational aspect to it. But I am concerned about the possibility of further leases to do things, but that, that for-profit or even not-for-profit corporations are coming in there and doing things. So I just want to
Yeah.
throw that out there as a thought.
Okay, and then the higher learning partnerships with Bard, Columbia, NYU, UMass, Michigan,
All that
West
stuff
Indies.
is great.
Okay. Field trips at the primary and secondary levels, and then school break programs. Those are almost like camps, I would say, the school break programs.
I mean, I think the field trips are great. The whole camp business is, I don't know, I understand it's a fundraiser for
Yeah.
them, and there is some educational aspect to it, I guess. I don't know,
I mean, to say that they can't do any fundraising there
No,
is, that would be
Yeah.
not a
No,
good
yeah,
thing,
look,
because they have to
That's
sustain
correct,
themselves.
That's correct. I want to make sure that they are able to do their thing. I don't want to hamstring them, but I also want to make sure that we wind up in a place where down the road, we don't say a use is okay, and then that use is greatly expanded down the road. So that's, the camp thing is, I could see that it could just get bigger and bigger. I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If you all feel like Tom and Lisa, do you feel like the summer camp and the school break things are, we can draw some nexus into the educational institution? I think probably.
I don't see how you can not, if you're going to say that field trips, which also incorporate education, is different than a summer camp because they're doing educational activities at camp. So, yeah, you can't have one without the other.
No.
Okay, then the summer youth programs.
Yeah, I think,
That's what, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Historic preservation, the burial ground studies, the collections preservation, and the nonprofit and municipal partnerships, and the Cornell Cooperative SPAT program.
yeah,
Those all seem
I
very
think-
much in line with
yeah.
their mission.
yeah.
Peconic Land Trust is,
It's a
oh,
one event, it's a picnic.
I'm not sure, I don't remember.
Right, so,
Peconic picnic on PLT preserved land. Oh, I see.
because
They're part of the,
That's right,
okay, they're a partner.
yeah.
The Perlman Music Program. Instrument petting zoo for children.
Well, let's go back to the Perlman Music Program, because if you're questioning the Creekside concert, what's the difference between
Well, I
that?
would say that Perlman is a music place, a place where they're teaching music and the students are performing. Whereas this is more like a concert.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're differentiating between the
I
two.
would, just, that would be the clear differentiation for me.
Okay,
Okay, it's just that, they list it as a recital. So what's the difference between a concert and a recital?
Well, yeah,
they have children
The-
handling the instruments.
the
That's-
actual students are performing.
Yeah,
What's the difference between that and a professional person performing?
Then you're going to a show, right? It's a paid performance.
Okay. I just want to make sure we're very, very clear in distinguishing this
Right.
difference for the
So, I
record.
mean,
And there is no, they're not earning any money with this, not that that has to be a litmus test either. the
right,
Parliament Music
although,
Program.
although for me, it would sell it a little bit more if, in fact, this was a once-a-year fundraiser, but, you know, someone here there from their group said that they just covered the costs on
Okay,
Can I offer something that may be of no help at all, but just to
yes,
interject?
please.
Yeah.
So, you know, the section that they're proceeding under is, you know, that catch-all section that would have something be in the same general character as, and in this case, they're specifically pointing to an educational institution. So it's whether the use is of the same general character of another permitted use. So this may or may not be a distinction you want to draw, but the permitted use is of an educational institution. So using property for what, you know, how in the same way and character that a educational institution would use it in terms of the intensity of the use and the character of the use. So that might be something to keep in mind as opposed to just whether or not something is educational. It's whether the use is like the use of an educational institution. And again, that may be a distinction without a difference, but just to tailor it to our code provision, that is, you know, the nexus that they're trying to operate under.
The public library talks, that seems,
it. Yeah,
and the story time,
yeah,
public library, open space, recreation and community benefit. Oh, that's a category.
That's a category.
Yeah, sorry. Constructed wetlands, wastewater, public restrooms. I mean, those are existing, right?
right. And also they come now with some commercial kitchen in a building. Now that's where they're doing their baking.
Right, but it's not for catering, it's just for the,
There's nothing to, right now to prevent it to.
do you want me to
be
put
for
the
catering.
commercial kitchen as a concern on the maybe list?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's with the wastewater treatment?
Right, so that's, it's a
An annex?
precursor to the IA system.
Right, okay,
And so they put that in and
okay. The deer hunting program, the town managed deer hunting program, the trails, the Quaker meeting, water access at Deering Harbor.
so they have a little dock out there.
Yes, yes, okay, and then the private events. So we've got the small gatherings such as birthdays, celebrations of life, rehearsal dinners and reunions.
I would like to have that on the maybe list.
Yeah. And then the large gatherings such as proms, what does that say?
Rental.
Oh, rental or donation
Donation
of space to partner organizations and weddings.
Yeah, I'd like.
So the
that.
two private events we'd like to put on the maybe list.
Mhm.
Okay, so now that Tim guided us on the catch-all phrasing, which I don't even like that term, but can you read the
Yeah.
language of it again?
If the use is like that of the use of an educational institution.
Well, I'll just read it
That was
verbatim from the section. So it's any use after listing, you know, the uses, which includes educational institution, any use of the same general character as any of the uses specifically permitted in this section. So it's whether the use is of the same general character as the use by an educational institution.
Okay, so what, do you want me to reread what's on the maybe list?
One second, we didn't have the farm to table thing on here.
That,
Somehow that's not on the list, whatever, and I think that's a great thing. Do we have that on here?
It was there.
that be considered a private event?
I think it was on there, I might have just missed it.
It's fundraising, wasn't it?
We have a lot of people.
It's not on here.
Not on
Oh,
there.
wait, let's see, 400, that's for the Peconic Land Trust. Yeah, well, whatever, it's not on here, but I say. we
That's
need
their
to
primary
include it.
fundraiser,
Yes,
it's
that's-
very in keeping with their mission, yeah. I mean, their use.
All right, so do we want to run through this maybe list again here and try to work some of this out?
Do you want me to list them all or just one at a time?
It's up to you.
Let me list them all because they kind of fall into categories. Creekside Concert, the Sculpture Garden, the Shakespeare, the wellness programs, the windmill farm lighting. We talked about the size of the camp, and then the commercial kitchen and the private events such as weddings and parties.
So for me, the first thing I would like to, the first thing I feel like I want to say no to is the private events. I feel like I don't know that there should be a birthday party, a bar mitzvah, a quinceañera, a wedding. My concern is I don't want to approve something that turns this into, down the road, when there's a whole bunch of different people there, an events facility. And so
That would be really, is that our only way of preventing that?
I,
Do you want to say no to it all, or no, they brought up and we talked about limiting the number per year that are allowed. I don't know how the board feels about that is also an avenue.
But one of the big issues was impact on the community, with the size of events. And in that whole broad list of everything that we had there, from the Creekside concerts and the sculpting, like, how does that benefit the community, or how does that impact the community negatively in parking and amount of people that it can draw? I think that's one piece, but as far as the big events, when you look at that and the time frame of spring, summer, and fall, if that was even just limited to a Friday and Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday event, that could be 8 a month, all spring, summer, and fall, and that's a lot. That's a huge impact.
It's almost like you opening a whole can of worms if you say you can have a certain private event, but not another certain private event. It seems like a category that,
and I would say this, that,
it's at the end of the list for a
Yeah.
reason.
Tom was talking about parking and this and that, is that, Mr. Gaynor was up here and he spoke about a lot of things, but one of the things he spoke about was he was sitting out there one day and when camp was starting, and I had a similar experience. I was driving on Manwaring Road and I was 2 back at the stop sign, and people were pulling in for the summer camp, right? It was drop-off time, it was a few minutes before 9. And at the same time, people were trying to pull out. And people who had pulled in from 114, they were going south on 114 and turned left into there, then were having to back out to let cars out. Whatever, this is going to be something for site plan review down the road, but each use is innocuous, but each use really has to be looked at, I think, just to make sure that we are doing the right thing here. I am concerned about the private party thing. I feel like it opens a door to.
Interpretation of.
Yeah, and you know, we have restaurants, Legion, firehouses, hotels that are businesses that employ people that are happy to accommodate weddings and birthdays and whatever other events there are. And I don't know that that allowing private events. The other thing is Sylvester Manor has not come to us with a plan for the future. I imagine that somewhere down the road, that plan may come here to fruition. And when that plan comes, there can always be an ask for things that were denied now. There's also the possibility of them asking for a change of zoning through the town board, right? That they could ask to be rezoned differently, or they could come here for a use variance that would allow uses that are not allowed via a special permit. So I don't think any door would be closed permanently by saying no to something or other here. And, you know, and I do recognize they need to make money, but it sounded to me like they've hardly been doing any weddings. And, you know,
They
They
get a lot of inquiries.
right. And so
So the
if,
potential is there. We have to keep that in mind, yes.
I would say that there's limitless potential. And so I personally would try to not open that door. So that's, I mean, that's for me the biggest one. But can we maybe go through now one by one, Lynn? Is that all
Sure.
right?
So the Creekside concert.
I mean, should I just butt in one more time?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes,
please, feel free.
You know, so in addition to the provision, you know, where there needs to be a nexus to the same general character as another use, obviously this is a, you know, application for a special permit. So the ordinary standards in, you know, 133-35 are applicable to the consideration. So in addition to, you know, looking at whether or not it's sufficiently akin to the use of an educational institution, you know, those overarching standards that are in 133-35 that, you know, that you've gone through many times for other applications, you know, remain considerations here as well. You know, which are, you know,
Yeah. And
numerous and maybe, you know, but if there's something that's a hard call, you know, you might look at it through the lens of those standards as well as the Nexus standard.
okay. All right, the Creekside concert. What do y'all think? We heard testimony, it made no money.
Attracted parking and traffic. It's joyful for sure. I mean, this is where I struggle because I love a Creekside concert.
And look, even if it's not a fundraiser, it can be a friend raiser. I understand that. But, you know, I would be okay, let's say Creekside concert limited to 1 a year, 2 a year. I don't know. But
Right now, the frequency is 1 to 2 per summer.
right, that's, you know, again,
I think it definitely needs, if we go ahead, it needs to be limited.
Yeah. You want to say 2 a year?
2 per year. That seems fair. I mean, it's only in the summer. People aren't going to a Creekside concert in December. Does that seem like a reasonable thing, Tom, or do you?
Yeah, I mean, 1 or 2, I would stick with their guideline on it, or their past practice, 1 or 2 a summer.
Okay, so I mean, I want to, I don't want to go anything, something or something.
Right.
It's
2 per year?
yeah, I mean, a limit.
And if they want to have it in the spring or the fall, they can.
Right.
The sculpture garden,
The way around that would be then just one a month. One per month, you know, summer months.
then we're giving.
Then you're giving them.
Yeah.
12, yeah.
I'd rather just get,
Yep,
Two.
yep, cap it.
The sculpture garden. I think the people entering the sculpture garden, it's more of a slow flow. And I do feel that it does bring you into the old forest, and I feel less inclined to.
I think there was also,
limit the
unless
Sculpture garden.
unless my lines are off on this spreadsheet, it was based on the app that you download, and then, so you're learning about.
It's like self-guided.
Yeah, you're learning about the art, you're in the historic forest and gardens of Sylvester Manor, and you're learning about it through art. And I think Lynn, you're right, it's a low flow, it's not gonna draw, 300 plus people at one time.
Yeah.
okay. Take that off the maybe.
Okay. Shakespeare. They've done this for how many years? Let's see, many, I think.
It didn't say. This draws about 180 people, and they do 2 or 3 performances, so I would say, again, if we cap it,
I think they've only done one, in all honesty, 1 a year. Yeah,
so if we cap it at 1
or 2 a
or
year.
2, whichever number we decide.
Maybe we'll pick a number a little later.
Yep. The wellness programs.
I'm a no on the wellness programs. It opens it up to being a yoga retreat.
Mhm.
We have places where you can go on the island here where
Mhm.
businesses have whatever, whether it's Pilates or bar or it's town programs that are,
I agree.
You okay with that, Tom?
Mhm.
The Windmill Farm lighting. Is that a one-off event?
Yes.
I think it's a positive community
Yeah, I do
thing.
too.
I don't know how you draw it into,
Well, the windmill is historic to the farm and to the property.
And they are working toward making it
Yeah,
a working windmill.
And I don't know if, when the manor house is back up and running, they do the tea and tree holiday, because they only did that in lieu of
Yeah, they did.
not being able to use the manor house and COVID and all that, so.
Mhm.
all right.
It's
So,
okay.
okay.
All right, and then we're down to the commercial kitchen and the private events.
What was this?
Oh, camp size, was there, you were concerned about limiting the size of the
Yeah,
camp?
I mean,
Is it sort of self-limiting based on the staff they're able to have there, honestly?
I don't think so.
No?
I think it might be self-limiting based on the number of children on Shelter Island, but, I don't know if they're getting kids from off island. I kind of doubt it. It's,
I don't know if that's for us to
I don't think it-
state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if we start limiting camp here, what makes us, like, are we gonna limit the number of campers at Quinnipiac or at Pearlman, or,
Mhm.
I don't know if that's.
but we did kind of limit the number of campers at Pearlman, right? They were going to stay at the same number that they were
Mhm.
before.
That's based on it being residential.
Right.
Mhm.
And Quinnipiac's just never been here. Whatever, I'm easy on the camp thing, I guess, in the end.
Okay, then we have,
Is everybody good with the camp?
I mean, it does have a potential to grow if all of a sudden they want to, do a model like a Quinnipiac where they have overnight, like, I don't, this is just, we don't know.
Do you want to
What
keep
their
it to a
model
day
is.
camp? I mean, they don't even have the
They
facilities
don't have the
right
facilities
now.
for it, they would have to come anyway if they wanted to expand in that respect anyway,
Right.
correct? So I don't know if that's necessary to limit at this point.
Okay. All right, so, let's, whatever, they're gonna have a day camp, right? That's what we.
Continue
we
their
can
day
just-
camp.
yeah. Okay, so the commercial kitchen, for me, I'd like to say that it's only allowed to use, to produce things for the farm stand.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm. That's reasonable.
that's, after that, it seems like it turns into a commercial facility. And again, we have other places on the island that, producing food for sale
Mhm.
that are,
Approved, yeah.
That are catering
businesses.
halls.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So I don't want the kitchen to be used for anything but producing food for the farm stand.
Which is what it's doing now.
Yes, that's its current use.
All right, and then the big one is the private events. That's on the back, that was their last item. Birthday parties, celebrations of life, rehearsal dinners, reunions, proms, donation of space to partner organizations, weddings, or rental of the space to partner organizations.
The only one that I would feel positive about is the prom, just because you have the kids that have been going there for years would be able to have their prom there. But I don't want to say yes to the prom.
There
if
are
that
plenty of
doesn't-
other
I
prom
don't think we
venues.
can,
Okay, so that's what I said.
I don't think we can single that out.
So then, for me, then I'd rather just say no to all of that stuff. I just don't want to open the door to
Mhm.
the events facility. Because once
Mhm.
you allow the use, the door is open, and it's going to be very hard to close it. Tom, what do you think?
Well, they show no end game. Again, spring, summer, and fall could be anywhere from 2 events for that time period to 20 or 30, if you look at, so I'm fine.
And I think, like you said, the door is always open. Should they come back with a plan and they want to do something specific, or they can always come back and,
Okay, then, they had, sent us a letter a while back, which was about their proposed conditions of approval. And so there's a couple things, the new construction. I would like to say that no new construction without coming back with hopefully some sort of a comprehensive plan for what's going to go on there. And
Apart from the restoration, obviously.
yes, of course, that's.
is
Yeah.
that, Tim, is that something that we can provision though, or are they allowed to build what they're allowed to build based on zoning code?
Well, we're carving out a use that's not permitted, so it's subject to being, limited by conditions that, reasonably bear on what's being granted. So you do have the ability to impose those types of conditions. They just need to be related to,
You know,
the-
if they needed to build a new, and their language was non-agricultural structures, if all of a sudden they needed to build a new shed or something for the livestock, right? Is that then something they would have to come back and get permission for if we put the provision in? That
Would
no
only be
new,
on those 2 lots.
true,
I would think you'd be in the best position if there's proposed new construction, it goes through the original filter of the building inspector, and if the purpose of the newly proposed structure fits within a use that, is permitted in the code or is specifically identified by a decision that might be forthcoming now, then he could issue it. And if it's not, then, it would be denied, and they're, you know, they would have their remedy to come to the board and ask for it.
Okay.
So, and, I mean, technically, right, even on the bigger lot here, you're allowed one primary structure and one accessory structure in terms of living space. So, yeah, so Tim, are you saying then that we should not specify that, or that we should specify that?
I think you can specify it, particularly to the extent that they offered it. But it's, you know, it's,
Well, they didn't offer what I'm talking about. They offered no new permanent non-agricultural structures greater than 1,500 square feet.
yeah.
I would say no new permanent non-agricultural structures, period. You know, and again, it's
Or
the,
mechanical, you know, like that function with the agricultural.
right, and look, that can be up to the building inspector to determine if that would trigger their trip, but I think that clause, though, the no new permanent non-agricultural structures, period.
Yeah, I don't have that list in front of me right at the moment, but
Okay,
yeah, I recall, and the, you know, each one of those includes with those limiting provisions includes with it an embedded grant of something, right? Like if it's no more than, then it means that we're giving them up to what they're, you know, self-imposing as a limitation. So I think any conditions or limitations, you know, should be, you know, of our own creation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
all right. Are there other things that we need to think about with this application right now? Oh, I just wanted to touch on the possible leasing of property in the future.
What about the school and stuff?
Not just the,
Oh.
but just as a thing,
Mhm.
you know, there's, whether Sylvester Manor is not allowed to be a school according to their bylaws, but they lease land to a school. I would really want to make sure that we're not creating a sort of, I don't know, the opportunity for people to come in and, because they're not Sylvester Manor and they're not maybe limited by what we're saying, although this is going with the land, that I don't know, that other businesses start getting run at there, I guess. So I don't know.
Could that be a condition?
Tim, is there can we do something where we limit leasing of land within there, or is that not something we can or should do?
No, it's certainly something you could do, and I mean, even just with in the broad sense that, you know, it's wouldn't that anything that's proposed, I mean, is there is there something on the list that we know to be a product of them?
Just the school, but they.
That's the only one.
Yeah, the only one. They said they weren't sure that was going to happen again. We were just concerned about the kids entering any like structures that weren't approved or safe or whatever. But that is the only least thing that I think we know about.
That is correct, yep. Again, that we know of at this point, you know, then there may be some great idea for doing something down the road, but for that, I'd like to see that
They need to come
you know,
back.
look, the public is entitled to a hearing on something.
Yep.
Right?
So a
Yeah.
condition then it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I don't, you know,
I mean, we can have an overarching condition or limitation, you know, that nothing herein shall be deemed a grant of any use not previously engaged in to date. And that may be hard to police, but you do have, a fairly detailed index of what they represented, they do, and the frequency at which they do it. So, that might not be a perfect governor on the situation, but it would be something to.
Well, they would advertise them for sure.
So, we have a hearing next week, right? I'm a little concerned because it's going to take Tim time to really draw this up. And I don't want to wind up looking at this the day of or the day before and trying to sort through it. If it's all right with all of you, I would like to maybe ask Tim to put together a preliminary draft of a resolution for us. And we adjourn this to the next work session where we could review, hopefully, Tim, you could produce that for us maybe in a week. And then we would have a couple weeks to take a good look at it before
And
our
review it.
next work session. Because I just don't want to be rushed.
If, in order for Tim, for you to produce that, do you need us to go through the checklist tonight or after?
The 13335 checklist?
Yeah, I don't think, do we do that for this?
Special permit, yeah?
Yeah.
So do we need?
What checklist did you mean?
The-
Special permit.
The
special
the
permit
Yeah,
permit one.
okay.
Yeah.
We do need to go.
We need to know, we need to go through that before you produce a draft of the resolution, correct?
Well, it depends what you want, how drafty you want the draft. I could do a draft based on
How
tonight's
drafty?
discussion, but otherwise, yes, it would need to at least at some level go through that. But you would have, the alternative is you'd have the working draft to work from while you perhaps fine-tuned it at the next meeting by going, step by step through those checklists. But obviously, I can't make those findings for you.
Right, and I don't want to put you in a position where you are doing that, which is why I don't know if we should go through this checklist now so that there's some basis for you to write a proposal, or I'm sorry, a resolution. But you just have to tell us what the process is.
Would we work from the resolution to the
That
checklist?
seems backwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's give it a run here. All right, Lynn, it's all you.
You want me to do it?
No, okay. All right, so the general suitability. Is the proposed use the most appropriate uses of this land? I'm going to call it the most appropriate use. What do you think? Is this the most appropriate use of this land?
What it
I,
is?
oh, go
Oh,
ahead,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead.
No, I do. I think we can't, we have to remember that they're renovating the manor house.
Okay,
That's the main,
Mhm.
that's the thing that we all agree on, that we're all excited about. So that
Okay.
is the main part of this, and that is the most appropriate use of this
right,
land.
but we're also talking about the whole list of uses.
Yes, I'm just talking about the main thing first. Go ahead.
I
Right.
think going through this checklist of all the uses, we were able to connect these uses as appropriate based on their ask as an educational institution. And I think they've been operating, that's what they're doing. And, it's not like they're turning it into a gas station or something like that. It's in harmony with their pillars that we identified. So I think it is.
Okay. Good,
We have
Lynn.
another
You-
one?
It's all you.
No, I just need to take the notes, remember?
Yeah, you can take the notes. You can read too.
Okay. Will the use be detrimental to surrounding property values?
I don't see it.
The only use that might have caused was the large and small gatherings, just based on noise and traffic flow and all that, which we've determined is something we want to put a condition on, so.
Will the use cause an overcrowding of land or undue concentration of population?
It is an extremely, I don't have the number, but it's a very extremely large piece of property. I had the number somewhere.
And I think by limiting the private events,
Yeah.
that will mitigate the overcrowding. Like, yes, they'll still have the farm to table, but that is integral to their mission. And so I don't think it will cause an overcrowding.
And again, it's not like we're talking about a 1 acre property.
Yeah. Go ahead, Phil, B.
B, location. Is the site suitable for the location of such use in the town?
Yes, it is, because it's being rehabilitated to its former glory and with the limitations and it becoming an educational use, I think that is a suitable location in the town.
Is the proposal harmonious with the character of the existing and probable development of uses in the vicinity?
Yes, it is, and I think that by being clear and going through painstakingly all these different proposed uses, that it is harmonious and that it will take into account probable development of uses.
Is the proposed use accessible for fire and other emergency apparatus? No, I will say it's a little sketchy getting in
It
and
is.
out there. I think that's something for site plan to work on.
Like in terms of having to have like traffic
Yeah, that's a.
control during events and stuff?
Yeah, so, and
Egress, yeah.
Yeah.
just, all it takes is one car trying to get out
Yeah.
and nobody can get in.
Mhm.
Is the proposed use unreasonably near a church, school, theater, recreational area, or other place of public assembly? No. Will the proposed use interfere with the established uses in the neighborhood? No. Public services, are the driveways and sidewalks adequate to assure the public safety and avoid traffic congestion?
Again, no.
No.
Environmental concerns, are there adequate facilities for the treatment, removal, or discharge of sewage, refuse, or other effluent from this use? So I think, the manor house is going to have a whole new system.
And they have that other system.
All right, the precursor.
Yeah.
Will the proposed use cause odors, dust, light, or noise? And if so, how can the impact be minimized? I'm going to say, just on occasion. it would
During the
make some noise.
renovation.
Well, and also just, if you're going to have a creekside concert or two, or, the farm to table, it looks like there's some loud music going on there. So I would say that there might occasionally be some noise, but I would call it minimal.
We also minimized it by limiting the number of events. Some of these larger ones can take place, and also they also need to comply with the local sound ordinances and light.
Will the proposed use impact the aquifer and other important natural resources? And if so, how can they be protected? It's such a large piece of property that,
Density.
we're not talking about irrigating. I don't want to get into the irrigation debate here, but we're not talking about a big irrigation thing. And I think when they have the big parties, like the farm to table, I think they bring in the fancy porta potties, so everything kind of goes. So I'm going to say no.
No.
You writing that down, man?
Yeah, wrote it down.
Okay. It's a lot big enough for the proposed use, and it's reasonable anticipated operation and expansion.
Yeah, sure it is. Yes.
Is there enough off-street parking for employees or visitors, and is parking laid out in a convenient, safe way? I'd say that parking needs to be
Yeah.
addressed
I
in
agree.
site
So
plan.
no.
What buffers and screening are necessary to protect the adjacent properties and land uses? You know, if, uh, I don't know, if they would like to, or, you know, put some sort of vegetative buffer between them and Mr. Gaynor, because he seems to be bothered by some of the things that they do there, but perhaps everybody likes the long open vistas.
Right.
So he didn't
That
propose any of
wasn't
that.
expressed by, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to say none.
None.
All right, and then at the end, you know, whatever, we'll
Yeah.
save that for the,
You'll say that. for
okay. So
Tim. That'll give Tim a good.
Tim, are you ready to go on this?
Yes.
All right.
Do you want us to list out the few conditions that we had, just so that we're on the same page? And he
Sure,
knows
let's go ahead.
Okay, so we had conditions, construct no new permanent non-agricultural structures,
No new permanent.
non-agricultural structures. And then the other one was the leasing of the property. Tim can put that in eloquent lawyer speak.
Legalese.
Legalese. And then limiting the large and small, I don't know, gatherings.
I mean.
Again, that's something Tim,
I mean, limiting, I said
none.
none.
Okay, so that would be something that
Eliminating.
eliminating, or no small or large gatherings.
And then 2 Creekside concerts, 2 Shakespeare performances.
Yep.
I mean, those were
Those, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds.
this.
I'm saying no private gatherings, large and small private.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Does that seem copacetic to everyone?
I think it's the best we can do.
All right. Is there another moment coming where we can do better?
I think we try.
I agree. All right, so we're going to adjourn this until our work session. Let me just get the date here.
Session October 15th.
October 15th. Okay. One more time, wrapping this paper up here. Will you get punch? Makes life clear.
Yeah.
Once you're right there with getting lonely.
Oh, yeah, I had a 15-minute snooze.
It's not fair.
I'll take advantage of it.
All right. Lost my agenda. So next up, we have 9 Clinton Avenue, O'Connell. Do we have any correspondence on this?
None.
So previously, we had been, we had a hearing on this. The HPOC had some concerns with traffic, parking, and that kind of thing. It seems that the applicant and the HPOC have worked that out. They've got some approvals from HPOC, from North Ferry, from the ambulance, from whatever, from all really interested parties. The, there were no actual objections to the plan, right? There was no opposition at all. And so I don't know if any of you have a little bit of input here.
I don't have anything from my notes other than the parking.
That's all I have.
Same here. Long they worked it out in agreement. I think that's the most
The
important
last thing that Matt showed us made sense.
with the flag man.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to sort of recap, what the variances are for in working off the denial letter here. Oh, because we're expanding the bulk, yeah. Okay, so the window wells are in the rear yard setback. These are new window wells. There are 4 of them altogether, and all 4 of them need area variances. The addition where the foundation and first floor closet and rear porch expand 1.3 feet over a 10.4 foot wide area at the southwest corner, holding a distance of 3.2 feet from the northwest property line, 13 feet from the rear yard property line. This expands the existing nonconformity in area and bulk, requiring an area variance and a ZBA special permit. And the proposed new patio holds a distance of 5 feet from the rear yard alley property line and 5 feet from the side yard property line. Is entirely in the side yard setback and nearly entirely in the rear yard setback, requiring a ZBA area variance. And then your expansion of the second floor roof deck over the existing porch, 3.5 feet towards the northeast Clinton Avenue front yard property line, with no expansion of footprint, but expanding the bulk nonconformity requires a special permit. So those are and we also need a ZBA variance. Your existing impervious surface coverage is 2,005 square feet, which is 269 square feet over the code. Your proposed construction would add 493 feet of impervious surface for a total of 2,261 square feet. You need a ZBA variance for the additional impervious surface.
I wrote that the brick patio was in sand. Does that make it not impervious?
I'm uncertain.
Asking Punch, if there's sand on this new brick patio, between the bricks, does that make it impervious? Do you know?
Doesn't make it permeable, really.
No,
Well, just because you were saying impervious.
Right, it's because it is, I think, I think that's,
Not part of it.
right, I think that's Reed's thing.
Okay.
that's the building department
Okay.
call.
All right, so are we ready to go checklisting?
I think so.
Does anyone else have any other commentary on this one?
I think you covered everything.
Okay, so let's first do the area variance. Is that all right with everyone? And so this is for a whole bunch of area variants.
Can you take the notes on this one, because I did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you can take it.
Do you have your own?
Sure, I have. I'll just, somewhere over the rainbow. I do not.
Take this one and
I-
Lisa will take the note.
All right. Whether, undesirable change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties. I'm going to say no.
Agreed.
It's very similar to other properties in the area there. Whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by a feasible alternative to the variance. Yeah, I would say that they are really minimizing the impact. And so I would say that this is the best alternative, so I don't know that there's another one that's as good or feasible. Whether the requested variance is substantial. I would say each individual variance isn't that much.
But
Add it up, I
collectively-
think it is substantial.
I agree.
Yeah, total.
Sorry, we're going with,
Yes.
Yes, for the total.
Collectively, yeah.
Would the variance have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood? Let's say no. And why?
All the improvements they're making to the property, I would say.
Okay. Whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, yes.
Yes.
Then we're going to move on to the special permit for the expansion of the bulk. That's for the addition and for the second floor porch expansion over the roof and for the increase in impervious surface. Is the proposed use the most appropriate use of this land?
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
residential.
Will the use be detrimental to surrounding property values?
No.
No.
Will the use cause an overcrowding of land or undue concentration of population?
I mean, it's already tight, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's,
So no.
no, it's,
They're going from a 4-bedroom to a 5-bedroom proposed,
Huh?
but I don't see that as
No.
causing any overcrowding.
no.
No.
Is the site suitable for the location of such use in the town?
Yes.
Yes.
Is the proposal harmonious with the character of the existing and probable development of uses in the vicinity?
Yes. Yes.
Is the proposed use accessible for fire and other emergency apparatus? Yes.
Yes.
Is the proposed use unreasonably near a church, school, theater, recreational area, or other place of public assembly? No.
No.
Will the proposed use interfere with established uses in the neighborhood? No.
No.
Are the driveways and sidewalks adequate to assure the public safety and avoid traffic congestion? I would say that using the parking plan during construction and will mitigate the problems. There is no driveway there.
It's like a lot of houses in the Heights. They park in the street.
Are there adequate facilities for the treatment, removal, or discharge of sewage, refuse, or other effluent from this use? Yes.
Yes.
It says a sewage treatment plant. Will the proposed use cause odors, dust, light, or noise, and if so, how can the impact be minimized? And they're going to have dark skies compliant lighting. Will the proposed use impact the aquifer and other important natural resources, and if so, how can they be protected?
Can I go back?
Yes.
Did we talk about the noise, the sound of the AC units at all?
No, as long as they are under the thing, that's, and the building department.
Oh, okay. All right. I just remember us dealing with that more.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, but they changed the code.
Okay.
Will the proposed use, oh, we already. It's a lot big enough for the proposed use and it's reasonable to anticipate operation expansion, yes. Is there enough off-street parking for employees or visitors and is parking laid out in a convenient and safe way? So again, they are going to use the traffic plan that the applicant and the HPOC agreed on. What buffers and screening are necessary to protect adjacent properties and land uses? None. And we don't need any conditions on this other than that they're going to comply or follow the parking plan. Anything else that anybody else want to put in there? No? No?
No.
Tim, is there anything you feel like we're missing here?
No,
Okay. Anyone else have anything for this?
Oh, can we talk about
Is it for
moving?
this?
Oh, for this? No.
Okay, so we're gonna just close that work session, and if there's something else you wanted to bring up,
Yeah, do we have to make a motion to close it?
we'll need to make a motion. Sure, let's make a motion to close the work session.
Oh, okay. I'll make a motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Then what,
I want the meetings to be at 7 instead of 7:30, now that punches are tied.
What's that now?
Punches are tired, but dance
Punches
is
are
ramping up.
tired, so I want the meetings at